What up, my good people in the YouTube world? You already know who it is, and you already know what it is. It's your boy B, the outlier, and I'm right back up at you guys with another video. What up? Weekend is over, my people. Weekend is over. It is another week, man. Time is moving fast. Time is moving fast. It's already the end of March. And I can still remember my Christmas podcast for you guys. Also remember my New Year's podcast for you cats, man. Time is going. Time is going. I just hope that all you guys are moving along with time, meaning making good use of your time. Because that time ain't coming back, my people. It ain't coming back. So what's up? This is the Outlier Podcast. You already know what it is. If you are up at this time of the morning listening to this, you're in the right place, my people. You're in the right place. And it can only mean one thing, that you yourself is a fellow outlier. That you yourself is a fellow outlier. If you are watching or listening to this podcast, my people. And what is an outlier? An outlier is a person who is of the system, meaning you was produced by the system. However, you are a statistical anomaly. A statistical anomaly, my people, which often means that people don't really accept you all the time. People do not really accept you all the time. Your thoughts feel different, and society feels a little bit off. So we got somebody in the check-in. Somebody said, "Good morning, brother. What's today's mathematics?" What up, what up, what up? We got my brothers in the 5% community. What up, what up, what up, what up? Y'all already know I love y'all. Y'all already know I love y'all. However, I never joined the 5% community, so I do not know the mathematics, my people. I cannot tell you today's mathematics, but I can tell you what I am up to today, my people. We could go into what I'm up to today and what this podcast today is about, my people. We got the fragrance of the week, which we're going to be talking about. Vetiver extraordinaire. Then I'm going to tell you guys about somebody. We're going to get into it because this most likely is going to be a week-long thing or a couple podcasts strong where we get into Bernard Goetz. If you're young, you probably don't even know who Bernard Goetz is. But Bernard Goetz was a vigilante out here in New York City back in about 1984. 1984, he did some things on that A train, headed uptown. We're going to get into that. I'm going to tell you about the landscape of New York back in the 1980s. Y'all will also be amused to find out that the Joker movie, parts of the Joker movie was based on the Bernard Goetz case, my people. Based on the Bernard Goetz case. I'm going to tell you guys also about my weekend. Somebody just said they just playing with me. Talk about today's mathematics. Now, I feel you. With the 5% community, I have been speaking about some figures that made a difference out here in New York City. And Clarence 13X is one of those people that I definitely want to speak about, but I'm not done doing my research on that brother. And I know approaching somebody like that, you have to be very, very, very respectful of his history. And you got to kind of separate the man from the myth. It's the same thing with Haile Selassie, another person in history that's very, very, very extraordinary. And somebody with, a myth, and also somebody with a historicity, somebody that actually walked the earth. So you really got to be cool and calm when you speak about these people, man. Somebody said, do you know anything about the block in Amityville? He said about the block in Amityville. Which block are you speaking about in Amityville, my brother? Kevin Griffin. What up, Kevin? My boy Griffin on the check-in. What up? You know a lot, man. You know a lot. I used to live in Amityville. I moved from Amityville about 5 years ago. During COVID, I bounced like in the beginning of COVID and moved to Brooklyn. But I was staying in Amityville for a minute, right off of 110, right over there at the Gray Barn. I used to stay in the Gray Barn over there in Amityville. So shout out to all my people in Amityville. You talking about the horror house over there? Somebody else on the check and said, what do you think about El Menchio? I don't know. Somebody said, this guy sounds like a white businessman. He said, I sound like a white businessman. You hilarious. Somebody said, what do you think about El Mancino? I don't know too much about him. I do not know too much about him. School me. So yeah, you guys know my fragrance of the week last week was Grey Vetiver by Tom Ford. We are exploring vetiver fragrances. And the second one that I have, and we're gonna do this week, is Vetiver Extraordinaire by Frederick Mel. I'm probably saying his name wrong, but I like this one. It's also Haitian vetiver, the same as the Tom Ford, but this one is a little bit more creamy. It's a little bit more creamy. The Tom Ford vetiver seemed like it had like citrus notes and things like this. This one is a little bit more creamier. The Tom Ford, it didn't really project a lot. It was like a fragrance that stuck closer to your body. Wasn't a real projector. And it lasts pretty long, but it lasts as like a fragrance that stuck to your body. But I definitely liked it. It was more of an event where you dressed up and wore it with ties and a suit and things like that. And this one is just a little bit different. It's creamier. It's a little bit richer. It is also Haitian vetiver. So you're going to get some of the same effects from it. But this is the first day. You feel me? We're going to wear it again tomorrow. I'm going to tell you how it is. Trinity night. Somebody said, Denzel, what up? Every episode, somebody say that I sound like Denzel. What up? We got another person that he had an emergency. But everything is fine. What was that emergency? Drop it off in the comment section. Let me know. What was your emergency, my people? Somebody said, nah, boy sound like boy from the Wu-Tang Clan. Which person do I sound like from the Wu-Tang Clan? Y'all hilarious today. Who do I sound like in the Wu-Tang Clan? Somebody said, what city am I in? I am in Freeport, New York. This is Nassau County, a suburb of New York City. We about 30 minutes away from Queens, 20 to 30 minutes away from Queens, but about 40 to 45 minutes away from Manhattan. Somebody else on the check-in said, my friend Jenna got in an argument with her boyfriend because he cheated. Can you say you're on Jenna's side? Because her boyfriend cheated? I don't know the whole story. So I don't know whose side I'm on, man. I can't take sides if I don't know the whole truth. You feel me? But if somebody cheated on your girl, on your friend, it's all about what they gonna take. It's all about what they gonna take. If you're gonna deal with the cheating, I say deal with it, man. But if not, then you gotta leave. I look at cheating as somebody stepping out on a relationship, somebody like not respecting the other person. But people cheat for different reasons, man. So I have to know the whole story to really see what's going on. But then again, I'm not in either one of them shoes, and I can't pick no sides, my people. Cannot pick no sides. Somebody said Strong Island. Yes, sir. Mr. Griffin said Strong Island. He already know what it is. This guy's a regular. He know a lot about where I'm coming from. Also, some of the places we passed. We got somebody right there said, see, I was right. They from over there. Somebody said somebody said, so it's 4:42 a.m. there, right? I'm in Florida. Yup, it is 4:42 over here in Long Island. Yes, sir. I'm on my way to work trying to catch this 5 a.m. train. Somebody said, I'm right behind you. Anytime somebody says that, I have to look back. I got to look back because the day I don't, that'll be the day somebody walk up behind me and club me. Somebody walk up behind me and club me. Somebody said, you walking to work? Yes, I am walking to work. Somebody said, can I get a picture? I'm behind you. Another person said they behind me, but I'm gonna look to the side of me because we'll look behind me. So I'm gonna look to the side. Ain't nobody over here. Somebody put the laughing face on. Somebody said Denzel Washington. Y'all always say that. Thank you again. Somebody said, good luck, G. Thank you. Somebody checking in from Detroit. You know, I'm telling y'all, man, Detroit is one of the cities that stay checking me, son. Every single episode, somebody from Detroit check in. Shout out to my people from Detroit. Last week, I was telling y'all DC was my favorite basketball player growing up. That is Derek Coleman. So shout out to all the people in Detroit. Somebody said, gotta look back. You already know it is. Somebody said, stay blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's get into another topic in which I was speaking about. I told y'all cats that I work in transportation. Y'all already know that. On Friday, I went to an event where a company, they have new technology. And they said that this new technology, they're a European company. And they're coming out here to New York City, my people. They're coming out here to New York City. And they have like these new wheelchair lifts that's electrical. And they say that these new wheelchair lifts are going to be great for the city of New York, considering where we are a heavy transportation city. Meaning we do a lot with ambulatory services. We also do a lot with wheelchair services out here in New York. And there are a few contracts that happen that you guys may not know about it. But now, like yellow cabs, also for hire vehicles, they are getting into wheelchair accessible vehicles. So your average yellow cab, your average taxi cab might be picking up people who have special needs. And this company is coming to the city because they say that their wheelchair lifts and their lifts, they're much better for the clients and they're also much better for the drivers. So I went to that event with the VP of my company. We had a pretty good conversation, and the VP wants to know why one of the people who I manage, one of the people who do service for us that I manage basically, why their service is so low and why their numbers looking so bad. So listen, I'm a data analyst to a certain extent, and I'm looking into all of this type of things. And I had a detailed response for this person. Detailed response for this person. But they wasn't trying to hear me, my people. They were not trying to hear me, my people. You feel me? They just wanted a simple response. But, when I look into the data, it's never just going to be simple to me. It's never just going to be simple to me. So I went in there, spoke to this person, and now they want another report to try to see, like, just one of the things that I mentioned. Just one of the things that I mentioned. So over the weekend, what I did was worked on those reports, man. Worked on those reports. I got detailed information. And we're going to get into it, man. We're going to get into it. I created some graphs, created some charts in order to get this information off. And we're going to see what's going on. So we got some people on the check-in. They said North Carolina. Somebody said, hey, Rich, why they killed that guy? Rich who? You talking about Rich Porter? Why they killed who? Who you talking about, somebody? Somebody else said North Carolina in the building. Shout out to the people in North Carolina. My father just moved to North Carolina. What's going on? Somebody said, what you gonna do if a crackhead chase you? I ain't running from no crackhead, man. What I look like running from a crackhead? I'll knock a crackhead out. Can you imagine a crackhead trying to attack me? I'll knock a crackhead out. Ain't nobody running from no crackheads. Somebody said SHIT ain't been the same since Blade got killed. Since Blade got killed, what y'all talking about, son? Blade Brown? Y'all talking about Blade Brown from Class Act? Who are we talking about? Somebody said, rest up, Blackety Wood, Cheetah Boy. I don't know what this cat talking about. Alvin Iverson, what up? Somebody said, Jalen. Who y'all talking about, man? Who is y'all speaking about in these comment sections, man? Y'all naming names I ain't never heard of. Somebody said, crackhead here. Way I just want to talk. Somebody said they're a crackhead there and they just want to talk. All right. Somebody else in there said, be safe, bro. Thank you. Since all y'all commenting, man, hit that like button. Also hit that subscribe button. If this is something that you cats is into, my people, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if this is something that you're into. Somebody said, you walking? Yep. I'm walking, my man, walking to the train station so I could get to work. Somebody said, no problem, homie. It's dangerous out here. Somebody said, you got stuff? Somebody said, you walking and out of breath. Nah, I ain't out of breath. I'm just breathing a little hard. I got this little energy drink while I'm walking. You know, got this little energy drink while I'm walking. Somebody asked me if it's dangerous out here. It can be. It can definitely be dangerous out here, depending on how you carry yourself, depending on, what you're getting into, depending on how you live your life. I tend to live my life, work, and just chilling. So I don't really got too many enemies out here, So that is what it is. You feel me? But all right, we're going to get into that Bernard Goetz up until I get to 7-Eleven, and then we're going to have to stop it. So we probably got a good couple minutes before we bounce and come back tomorrow where we can speak more about Bernard Goetz. So who is Bernard Goetz? Bernard Goetz was a guy back in I believe it was 1984. This was a dude who was riding the A train. He was a white guy, pretty awkward, a little skinny dude, really wasn't from the streets. And he was on a train out here in New York City. And what happened was four guys approached him. And they asked him for $5. Now, Bernard Goetz was somebody who got robbed back in New York. This was back in 1982. He got robbed. And the people who robbed him basically got away. He filed the police report. The police came. One person got caught. The other people who robbed him got away. But the person who got caught basically got let off. And nothing really happened to him. So this cat was walking around the city scared. And that day, when the guys approached him and asked him for $5, he pulled out his weapon and just went off and started shooting these guys, man. Nobody died, but one of the guys got paralyzed. He's in the wheelchair for the rest of his life. And the other 3 guys got shot. A couple of people got shot in their back. And this was a big case that was going on in New York back in the 80s. Now, if you guys saw the Joker movie, you would see the parallels in the Joker when he did what he did to those people on the train, because it was loosely based on this case of Bernard Goetz. So what happened was he bounced from the city. He went to New England, and then he later turned himself in. But this case turned the city on its face because in the 1980s, New York City was a completely different place. The subways was filled with graffiti. Police really wasn't around inside of the subway system. You had a lot of homelessness. You had the crack era hitting. And if you look at the assaults, if you look at the homicides, if you look at everything that was going on in New York City at the time, what you'll see is that, like I was saying, it was a completely different place. And the people were scared, yo. The people were scared to walk around in the city. The people were afraid to walk around on the trains. And a lot of people looked at this guy as a hero. They looked at Bernard Goetz as a hero. They looked at him as a vigilante, somebody who was taking the city back, because people felt like they were being held hostage, yo. It felt like they were being held hostage. And come back tomorrow, because I'm here at 7-Eleven. We're going to get more into the Bernard Goetz case. We're going to get deeper into the political side of it. We're going to speak about crime. We're going to speak about punishment. We're going to get into all of that stuff tomorrow, my people. But let me read the comment section. Somebody said Bernard Goetz. Yes, sir. Or Goetz. Now, I believe it's Bernard Goetz. I could be wrong. Somebody said Bernard had a nasty drive game on the court. Bro was wild though. Bernard, you talk about on the Knicks. Somebody said Batman wasn't there to help neither. Y'all funny. Somebody said, see, I like when people explain situations that happen in their city. We never know. All right, my boy Alvin Iverson, yes sir. Somebody said wow. Somebody said I'll be there. Somebody said take care. Somebody said have a good day. Somebody said, gotta get it, bro. Somebody said, Bernard King. Somebody said, hi, bro, how you doing? I'm good. But nah, this wasn't Bernard King. This is Bernard Goetz. They have his interviews on the internet. You guys can see how awkward he was. Just a skinny guy. This also goes into, like, gun rights out here in New York. Because after Bernard Goetz got robbed, he applied for his, to be a legal carrier. But out here in New York, we got some of the strictest gun laws, my people. Some of the strictest gun laws. So he moved out there to Florida and got a gun in Florida and was carrying the gun out here in New York because he really felt like, the criminals always seem to get away. And that was his experience. He said he'd been robbed a few times. And if the criminals had got him that night, nobody would be saying anything about the case in general. But we up out of here, man. Thank you, cats, for watching. I'm going to come back tomorrow with a little bit more. I love